Hello, and welcome to the Underhive.
Thank you for rejoining me here for some more Hand of Fate 2 action. We're going to be continuing today with Temperance. Going to take Mali again as usual. Big fan of Mali. Do we risk taking the far north? We'll take Carriage because that is pretty useful. We'll take Market Thief, Anivette's Cottage, and Interception. We'll take Fabled Beast again. And we won't necessarily need max life this time. We'll take St. Tala's Day just to try it out. And we know we're going to need food here. So we will once again take Pauper Dilemma. Tarts, Pies, Exotic Lies, Old Maiden, and Blessing. So we're against Undead here. We don't know what Harvest Blade does, so we'll try it out. We'll take Law and Order just because they're new. The main things I want to make sure I've got here. I'll take Pious Robes, just try and get it finished. I'll pop Imperial Helm on just because it's new. Did we find out what either Tiger did? No? Okay, we'll pop those two on. And we'll also take Ring of Food and Gambler's Jewel. And I think we'll take a Sword and Shield as well. Take the Broad Shield because that has a token, the others do not. And we will take the Scorched Blade once again. We will start with food and gold, and what does that require? Empire. That's shadows, that's goblins. Doesn't really seem like an obvious choice here, to be fair. I think I'll just take Fine Sword. I don't think we'll need the max life, so we might as well just start with Fine Sword.
The Empire works against its own people, yet none of it matters. There will be no uprising as long as they are fed. Yet, take away their bread, and even the most peaceful begin to consider the songs of revolt.
True that. The innkeeper joins you at your table. I have some information. The Reaper was paid up front by a halfling known as Garrick Drowkin. The price was apparently an entire cartload of gold. He made the contract, then left the city. Ask where Garrick may be found. He was last seen on the road to Bridgemore Village, a farming village in the outer provinces. The whole area has been up in arms with the famine going on. Ask about Garrick. A mercenary. He was employed by the Imperial Army for several years until they wiped out a halfling kingdom, or the halfling kingdoms. Since then, he works for the highest bidder. If you want my advice, the innkeeper offers, you should leave the city. Forget this life of death and glory. Find peace in whatever far-off land you can, before your enemies catch up with you. Who knows what calamity will befall when they find out you're still alive. Okay, well, we jump straight into St. Tala's Day. On this day of penance and charity, you hear that a priestess will be blessing one and all for no cost at the Church of Fires. You find the flustered priestess at the church, dealing with a huge crowd of peasants and nobles alike. You join the line, elbows are thrown and harsh words are exchanged, but you finally make it to the front. What blessing do you require? Quick, quick! I've not got all day, pick two. Good health, wealth, good harvest, glory, luck, any blessing. Take good harvest. Player cannot starve to death, but can starve down to 1 life. Okay. And we'll take any. The effect of all game cards are applied twice until you leave the level. Okay. Next! The priestess shouts. A baby is thrust in her face and somebody impatiently pulls you from the line.
The people
Won't be using that one
need
again.
food, and they turn to you because their leaders have failed them.
So we need to
The
not
land
lose
itself
10
has
villagers.
failed them.
Villagers. I wonder if the gold is for losing 0. We'll see. You are surrounded by hungry, armed villagers who push forward and confront you while many more hang out of harm's way. I'll give them 3 food. Grab what they can and run off. Fine, I'll give you 5 food. Having dealt with the villagers that were most aggressive or desperate, you leave the remaining mob reluctantly and allow you to leave. Okay.
The
General
damage
store.
taken from starvation is more than the healing delivered by eating. As with many things, we find ourselves sliding further and further into hardship.
So we'd have 24. No, nothing. Leave.
Of
Thomas
course,
the Ogre.
in a world that has lost all of its wonder, violence, muscle, and brute strength still remain, so like the usurper in all its ways.
You are cautiously approached by on the trail by a group of farmers. Greetings, friend, one of them begins. Are you in need of supplies? The group explains that an evil ogre has stockpiled rations in his cave not far away. They intend to fight the creature and retrieve the goods to feed their families. Would you be willing to tag along for an equal share of the food? I would. You set out at once to the ogre's lair. Along the way, they explain exactly what sort of beast is awaiting you. He ate my nephew's dog, right in front of him. Little Joseph was collecting firewood, when the great hairy beast plucked his dog off the ground and swallowed him in one bite. Listen to more stories. The mayor went to visit his prize-winning horse last week and found nothing in the store but a torn saddle. Your companion exclaims. Oh. Yeah, it must be one of the farmers, not Mally. Not a drop of blood. The beast must have picked it up and taken it home to eat. It knocked poor Chester's pie wagon right over in a single swipe of its mighty paw. He lost an entire day's supply in an instant. Cassius, the baker, told me it broke into his shop last month looking for food. It set the whole place on fire while reading the oven. Ask whether any of them have seen the ogre. The group is suddenly quiet as they exchange glances. No, one of them offers. But my Aunt Maddie swears that it ate all of the radishes in her garden. The monster's lair is just up ahead, one of the farmers comments sometime later. Is it now? Oh. Is it now? A deep voice inquires as the monster in question strolls into view. The speechless farmers hastily retreat and the ogre stops and inspects you. My name is Thomas. This is my domain. What business have you here? Demanding returns to stolen food. I have stolen no goods from these humans. What food I possess, I earned with my own hands in this forest. Your desperation does not give you the right to take what is rightfully mine. The farmers manage to find their voices, throwing all manner of accusations at Thomas, who merely shakes his head in response. Believe what you will, warrior, but know that I will defend my home. He lifted his weapon purposefully, saying, I may be more reasonable than most of my kin, but thought without action is pointless, after all. I'll refuse to fight. What? The farmers cry incredulously. Are you siding with this hulking monster? Despite their outrage and frustration, the farmers can do little but give up and return home. A reasonable human, Thomas comments, turning to you. You are indeed a rare beast. He gestures to a waterfall behind him. My dwelling lies behind this waterfall. Would you care to join me for a game? I have few visitors of your intellectual caliber. I may have a magical trinket I would be willing to bet against you, just to make things interesting. He'll accept. You follow the ogre back to his lair and sit at a stone table opposite him. What takes your interest today? Cards? Dice? We'll play a game of manual dexterity. Oh no!
Patience.
No.
Do not move too quickly,
Yeah,
for
well,
haste breeds
Well, I've already done it now,
failure.
you scumbag. Thomas plays the game with both skill and luck. Never mind your loss, he says. Clearly you've never played that game before. Perhaps another game. Play a game of dice. 14's a tough roll though, bro. Gotta re-roll both of them. We need a 4 and a 5 at least. Nope, 3 and a 5. Not good enough. Not having much luck today, my friend. Perhaps we're just yet to find the right game for you. Perhaps another game? I've not played many games against humans. Mostly they try to kill me. Luckily for me, the fairy folk are far more civilized. Nice. You play the game well. I will have to do better in future, Thomas admonishes himself. He reaches behind the table and lifts an item, saying, Would this be of any use to you? Alright, okay, well, we managed the token. Tiger's Eye.
With an eye towards the predators, you make yourself like them. Yet, are you born to it? Or simply making yourself in its image?
Now, we can't equip that yet anyway, but it reduces damage cards. The ogre stands, saying, Thank you for your visit, human. I've enjoyed this afternoon's diversion, but I must tend to other matters. Bid the ogre goodbye and head back into the forest.
Seek, but do not starve.
Well, yeah, exactly, mate. I gave it all to the bloody villagers, though, didn't I? An uneasy silence fills the air on a moonlit night, prompting you to continue your journey without stopping to camp. Good journey. Oh, I've got no to make camp with anyway, really, so... Although you keep one hand on your weapon for the entire journey, nothing reveals itself as a threat. Hearts, pies, and exotic lies. Thank you very much, friend. I will buy exotic fruits. Deciding on a price. 10 gold. I will pay, Chester. Now that particular ring that we just got, in theory, should have halved the pain card, but I don't know if that's true. Chester passes you the fruit. He then moves to another customer. Sorry, chum. Times are tough. I have to give everybody a fair share. It's true. Can't fault you there, mate. We will make a donation, and what is braggart? Gain 15 fame until you lose any gambit, then discard this card. We will take Gambler's Banquet. I don't know how many dice games we'll come up against, but it's good to have.
Hunger.
The Wretched.
It chews at you. This whole land is starving, and you are left with only hard choices.
You wake one night to the sound of rustling. With a start, you realise there are thieving hands pilfering your supplies. You lunge for the closest thief. Nice. Happy with that? You catch the thief with his hand in your supplies and quickly snatch the bounty back. You easily hoist the attacker off their feet. They're no common bandit. You're face to face with a dirty, sickly child. Please, he stammers. They can't feed us at home. We have to take what we can just to survive. Offer some food. Taking pity on the child, you give him some of your supplies. We'll lose one food. But bless you, mercenary, for your good heart, he exclaims, and then runs off happily with his prize. And retry chance cards. Okay, that's good.
The well-fed
Hungry
are
peasants.
unpredictable. The hungry always seek a meal through force if necessary.
I'll give him 3. Claim we have no food. Search them! Try to push your way through, tearing your clothes and packs. Okay, there's 20 HP. 40 HP, wow. And max life. And another 15. And another 15. And more max life. Wow, they must have been picking at me with a sickle or pitchfork or something. You do what you can to protect yourself without hurting anyone and flee. Hope that you manage to find. You hope that they manage to find food somewhere somehow. Well, it's better than killing them, I suppose. Pauper Dollar. Okay, so we will get stuff for this, but we might die. Oh dear. If anything gets me, it'll be the captain, I'm sure. I mean, the phalanx of steel aren't incapable of killing me. Because we haven't got Mali either, so this could just be the end here. Fine sword. Gotta focus him down. That's good enough. If he gets one attack on me, I'm dead, I think. What? Oh, well, one more and I'm defo dead. Yeah. I tried to parry it, but because I was so in my head about having taken the previous hit. So, yeah, there's a few things I want to take out of that.
You should focus more on defense than offense, I think. The opportunity to strike back will always present itself.
Gladiator Visage. Good stuff.
There are still many who can be saved.
I would want to save all of them. So let's go encounters. Okay, so all maidens fine. We'll take St. Dollars Day out. Market Thief doesn't actually do anything for us. Pauper Dalam is good. Money's probably no good, and neither's Fabled Beast. Interception we don't know about. Yvette's Cottage we'll keep, because we've been told it's good. So, as far as this... I suppose we'll pop a merchant's favour in. So we need food gain cards. But not food for money. So that's food for a fight. That's trading. The underneath's rough. That does give us food. And that does give us food. So hopefully that should be sufficient now. I mean, is there anything better we can pick than that? Maybe those shops. No. I mean, I could take the heal. I suppose I'll take a buckler. Yeah, that's probably better. Hopefully Yvette's sister doesn't absolutely rinse me this time.
The kingdoms of death were once pledged to my throne. The usurper cares not for our old suits,
So
however.
ambush.
He has driven the
fine.
thefts from his lands.
So hopefully we can pick up a good amount here. Get that there food going. Yeah, so not fighting them basically gets you killed.
Why do you keep getting
So we might fight the first set that we don't feed all of. on, Mally, don't fall down again, bro. Okay. What's this? Are you alright, Mally? Your shield back. The range. The ungodly range. Please food. Please give food. Search for spoils. Ah, oh, come on, man. Rough. Hungry peasants. Give them all 8. And off the pot. General store. Just gonna leave.
Starvation has been the end of many adventurers.
What pies? Well, at least we can afford that. Pay him. Continue. Wretched. Solid stuff. Getting my food back. Can't believe he pinched 3 food. His hands must be bursting. We'll offer him 1 food. There we go. 2 fame. Acquire 40 gold on a single map to gain 20 max life. Okay. Round us fishing. We will agree to fish. Start harpoon fishing. I should have taken the mystical harpoon, but never mind. Out of mist straight away. Good stuff.
Even when things
Never do it on the
appear
first
impossible,
swing.
they can be mastered. Keep practicing.
Just hit a regular. Never mind.
Nicely timed.
Common grit sucker. Let's return to. Okay, we've got 3 food. Not very good. Not what we wanted out of that, but I was rushing it. So we will accept. Ignore them. Demand their return. Refuse to fight. Accept. We'll go with manual dexterity first. Nailed it. Play the game well, have to do better in the future. Gives us the Gambler's Jewel. Very good. Okay. Play dice game. Ah, brilliant. Play another game, play card game. We didn't get the item, which is weird, so you have to win the last game, not just one game. Hungry peasants, I wish I didn't do that. Give 3 food. Give 1 food. I have no food. So we don't have to kill him. Journey forward. Hungry peasants. I have no food. At least we've done that while we have none. Building journey. No, we're not going to do that yet. I'm going to try and find some food. Oh, maiden. We will ask for food. 3. Not very generous, but okay. Merchant's favour. You find a merchant's wagon parked behind a seedy tavern. Malaclips, and you brought your lovely friend. Esmeralda beckons you in. I've come by some surplus of wares from the Battle of Crimson Bay. You may take your pick if you can provide me more of that forged gold. Malaklips drops a bag of counterfeit coins into the merchant's eager hands and says, I have no more use for pointy sticks, but my associate might. Take the scorched blade. She bites the edge of the coin, pleased with its quality. Excellent. You've outdone yourself, Malaklips, you old charmer. I have half a mind to treat you to a wine, or 3. Malaklips winks at you. Duty calls, I'm afraid. You leave Malaklips in the merchant's company and they slip into the tavern.
What do you think
Volkswagen.
happens to the mind when one returns from death in this way? What happens to the heart?
One night you wake up to the sound of a rusty wagon wheel passing on a nearby trail. Cautiously you sneak to observe the scene. A drudge of skeletons is slowly dragging a wagon full of corpses through the forest. You'll follow them. After tedious hours, trailing the macabre band, you approach a hill to the far from the settlement. Atop the hill stands a stone circle, marked with eldritch runes. The skeletons drag their prized haul into the centre. A sudden flash of blinding light forces you to look away. When your vision returns, the circle is empty, apart from the abandoned wagon. Okay. We will accept the ambush, because this should give us food. But sadly, no Mal. Well, I don't know, it might be like the other one and not guaranteed to give us food. It'd be a shame if it doesn't, but we'll just have to take what we can. It's not that difficult to fight though, all said and done, so we've got plenty of health. Dodge messed me up. I dodged like just too late. And I was trying to do my special. It was a stun I had, not my special. I just seen the yellow glint and thought it was my special. It is that time though. Come on then, boyos. There's only you left. Nothing to worry about here now. Other than that, I suppose. Nice dodging. Nerfed him. Flopped like a little fish. I think we might manage this though. If we actually get some food here, we might manage this. Depending on how many maps are left, there's probably at least 1 or 2. 5 food is good enough. General store. I can't really buy anything, so never mind. Journey forward. Okay. Like, I think maybe that's because I didn't kill them at the time. But we got Mal. Mal will hook us up.
By sea and sun, fate and fame.
Those guys are sneaky. There's a deceased farmer by the looks. I think I just parried that back at him. It didn't really look like it shot back at him, but I did press parry and he died, so... Oh, maybe it was my shield, actually. Maybe it didn't work. Ooh, gain 1 equipment from 3. Well, we've already got the sword, so... Alright, let's just select that. So it's good against thieves. That's all it is. I can't wear it yet, but...
I doubt any will mistake your bearing for Imperial, hat notwithstanding.
Temple prayers. We will make a donation. We will take Gambler's Banquet once again. Really good value.
I cannot see how alliances with the thieves of the Empire improve your situation. the enemy of your enemy is not always your ally.
You follow a trail of hearsay to an inn in the town of Alderose. The barkeeper introduces himself as Hervey and says, Father Galfrey mentioned you were a keen thief, so I have a lucrative position for you. A new reeve is to be elected. I've intercepted the letter and made an adjustment to include myself, the great Hervey of Alderose. All I'd like you to do is get this list into the messenger's hands without him noticing. He hands you a sealed scroll. When the messenger arrives, he rests his satchel on the stool beside him. Drop all your gold. You approach the messenger and drop the contents of your coin pouch on the floor. He gets to his stool and begins to help you gather your coins. Ah, just early. A peasant joins the messenger on the floor and runs away from the inn with half your gold. In the confusion, the messenger decides to leave after helping you with the rest of your gold. Hervey shakes his head. You are the worst thief I've ever seen. Well, we'll try that again another time then. Angry peasants, or hungry peasants? Hungry peasants, perhaps. Give them the food. I have no food. Good work, chaps. Hungry peasants, I'm afraid I have no food. Good luck with that. I'm starving to death as well.
A balance of resources is
Pauper
key.
dilemma.
No one wants to
We will
perish
get food
wealthy,
from this.
but starving.
Fortunately, we have got Mal with us this time. And we on 10 health to begin the fight as well, so that's also pretty good.
I hope this works.
Give him a double bash and a big slam.
Thank you.
Straight back to it, Mally. No resting on your laurels, son. So I used my shield power, and it caused the explosion anyway there, which is pretty good. So there is a reason to use it even when you've got a shield, because you basically get the explosion off of it. Come on, Mal, get up. There's no general here, is there? Unless Mally took care of him. I didn't see him anyway. You've been slapped around good and proper there, mate. Oh, what's he doing with his hand? That's not safe for work, is it? Fearful of your wrath, they retreat. Bless your heart, she says, holding back tears. Please accept this token of our appreciation. Thank you. Thank you. The wretched. 3 again, the scumbags. But I'm good enough to take it back off you.
Excellent. A wise decision.
I will give you 1 food, child. Yvette's
Can
cottage.
you claim this token?
I've been told this one's good if we can do it, but if we don't do it, we'll basically lose this run, I think. Another woman greets you at the door to Yvonne's cottage. She curtly introduces herself as Yvonne's sister, Yvette. Yvonne and the baby are nowhere in sight. She too offers you a beef pie and potatoes, sprinkling some sunshine flour over it. Brings out the flavour, you know. You bite into the pie and the seeds of the sunshine burst sweetly in your mouth as you chew. Then you see it, your hands wrinkling before your eyes. Spell of aging. Consume twice as much food, which is really not ideal for this map. Yvette laughs. Fool, that will teach you to befriend my awful sister. Before you can do anything, she pushes you out of the cottage and locks the door. We will step into the water and hope to get this right. Success! Squinting, you see that the pool behind the waterfall is more tranquil than the roaring river. You wade across and duck beneath the waterfall. As you slip into the tranquil waters, your wrinkled hands smooth. Surrounded by delicate yellow sunshine flowers, you feel at peace. This card will be discarded. Very good. Until you are startled by a sudden cry of an infant. Tucked away in a dim, wet cave, you find a baby. It lies calmly in a simple wicker basket. I'm guessing that the baby is Yvette, and that, like, between them, they just, like, age and de-age each other, and that there's no baby. In fact, it was just Yvette. Around the neck hangs Yvonne's amulet. Well, I will say, this was on screen when I said it, but I wasn't reading that. I was looking at the camera despite that not actually being on. The baby smiles gummily and sucks the edge of the artifact. Piecing it together, you pluck a sprig of sunshine flowers and drop a few petals into the child's gurgling mouth. The baby begins to magically mature. Before you know it, a frazzled, fully grown Yvonne clambers out of the basket, I'm guessing with very little on. Oh, wrapping the linens around her for modesty. Yvette was so much nicer as a baby. So we've got access to our weapon now. Thank you. I don't think she intended to leave me here forever. Maybe just overnight. The Water of Youth cannot be taken from these grounds without losing its magic, unless it's in a citrine vial. Return to me later. I'll have one prepared for you.
Nicely done.
Nailed it. Sweet.
She
Lair of the
smells
Necromancer.
death upon you.
So it does
Death
seem
promised,
that we've
but not
done
delivered.
the Zero
Death
Villagers.
whose time has been delayed.
The skies are naturally dark as you approach the ruined graveyard. A cloaked figure stands amid the crumbling tombstones. Despite your stealthy approach, it turns to watch your arrival. Necros weren't that difficult last time, I don't think. They were kind of annoying, but not that bad. The living have no place here, she rasps, the breath leaving her body with some effort. Though you will make a fine source material for another minion. She raises her staff and the undead rise from the ground. A horde of skulls. Very well. I think we've got this. And I can't see why we won't be getting gold out of it. I think this particular attempt has turned out very nicely. And again, I'll put that down to luck, you know. I think we've approached the peasants in the right order. This necromancer turns dead into tools of chaos and slaughter. Use brash to break through a gruesome armor. So you only do that after the... Oh yeah, and she just brings them back to life anyway, doesn't she? So might as well just beat her down. So she'll do the armor at about half health, I think. Just take a lot of bashing now. Luckily, my shield from Mali actually cleared the scene pretty well. Another one for me there now, Mali. Oh, she's done it again. Come back. It's like running out of stamina. Can't possibly swing it anymore. Nailed him. And you're down, Mrs. Necro. So yeah, that's phenomenal. If we don't get the gold token here, I'm going to be pretty miffed. We saved all the peasants we could. Admittedly, by giving them nothing most of the time. Smoking ash is all that remains of the necromancer as you inspect the contents of the crypts. There you find letters written and signed with the Emperor's seal, each one calling for your death. What have you done to earn the Emperor's wrath? As if in answer, a voice of the hermit rings in your ears. It's not what you have done, but what you are yet to do. A powerful force presses against you, and every move takes you closer to the end of the game. You have few friends now. have got both by the looks.
This is what we seek to eradicate.
So we've got the wretched Thomas
These
the Ogre and
creeping horrors that
Mystery
stretch across our
Chest,
land.
as well as Thunea's Talons, Thorn Shell, and Ring of Defense, as well as the gold, Kolbjorn's Traps. Okay. And for Yvette's Cottage, Waterfall of Youth and Old Maiden. Okay. So is that the Old Maiden? Or is that a new Old Maiden card with a token?
We have
the
all
next
come
we've got
from
the
the
devil.
downtrodden and feel that we have been unheard. Some of us ascend to great power.
So I'm guessing the devil's the
regardless.
Emperor then, perhaps. 4 lives hang in the balance as this mysterious stranger offers help for a price. Oh, maybe not then. So yeah, we've got chance cards and we've got combat against the Empire. And not very many encounters or equipment, but we have got a lot of supplies, interestingly enough. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time in the Underhive.